The Bloodling is a true crime book written by Joseph Wambaugh, focusing on the Narborough Village murders and highlighting an amazing breakthrough in forensics. Joseph Wambaugh is a best-selling American writer known for his fictional and non-fictional accounts of police work in the United States. Many of his novels are set in Los Angeles. The Bloodling was his 7th book, but was also not set in the United States. It was set in the UK. Wambaugh has won 3 Edgar Awards and was named Grand Master by the Mystery Writers of America. After receiving an Associates of Arts degree from Chaffey College, he joined the Los Angeles Police Department in 1960 and served for 14 years, rising from patrolman to detective sergeant. He also earned a BA and MA degree at Cal State Los Angeles. I am Teresa, and welcome to the Canvas and Crime Chronicles. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you will be alerted every time I upload a new video. Linda Mann was a 15-year-old girl living in the quiet village of Narborough, Leicester, England. Born in 1969, she was known for her bright personality and love of music. Linda was a typical teenager, enjoying time with her friends and family and aspiring to a bright future. She was described as kind-hearted and had a close-knit group of friends. Her life was tragically cut short in November 1983. On the evening of November 21st, 1983, Linda left her home to visit a friend's house, but she never returned. The following day, her body was discovered on a secluded footpath known locally as Black Pad. She had been brutally raped and strangled. The community was shocked and devastated by the loss of such a young life. Despite extensive investigations, the police were unable to identify her killer immediately, and the case remained unsolved, casting a long shadow over the village for many years. Dawn Ashworth was another 15-year-old girl who lived in Narborough. Born in 1970, Dawn was also known for her vivacious spirit and love of sports. She had a promising future ahead of her and was well loved by her family and peers. Like Linda, Dawn enjoyed spending time with her friends and was looking forward to her future. Dawn Ashworth was also a young girl tragically murdered in 1986 in Narborough, Leicester, England. Dawn Ashworth was born on January 5, 1971, in Enderby, Leicester, and grew up in Narborough, a small village known for its community spirit. Described as a cheerful and outgoing teenager, Dawn was well liked by her peers and known for her love of outdoor activities. On July 31, 1986, Dawn left her home to visit a friend but never returned. Her disappearance sparked immediate concern among family and friends, leading to a widespread search effort. 2 days later, on August 2, 1986, Dawn's body was found in a secluded wooded area near Narborough. She had been brutally raped and strangled, shocking the quiet community and sparking fear among the residents yet again. Due to the location of the murders and a nearby mental health facility known as the Towers Hospital, the investigation originally focused on patients and employees of the mental hospital. The murder investigation initially struggled with the absence of clear suspects and forensic evidence. Police conducted extensive searches and were unable to identify the actual killer. The rapes and murders happened around 10 Pound Lane and the Black Pad. 10 Pound Lane and the Black Pad are locations in the Narborough Village area in Leicestershire, UK. 10 Pound Lane was the location where Linda Mann, the 15-year-old girl, was murdered in November of 1983. She was strangled with her own scarf, marking the beginning of the investigation into the killings. The Black Pad was the area that gained notoriety after the second victim, Dawn Ashworth, also 15 years old, was found murdered in July of 1986. The Black Pad was a secluded footpath near Narborough Road where Dawn's body was discovered. These locations, as well as the Tower Hills Mental Hospital, became central to the investigation that ultimately led to the apprehension of Colin Pitchfork, who became the first person convicted of murder based on DNA fingerprinting evidence. His crime shocked the community and had a profound impact on criminal investigations, especially in the use of DNA evidence. The breakthrough in Dawn Ashworth's case came through the pioneering use of DNA profiling by Sir Alec Jeffreys and his team at the University of Leicester. This new forensic technique allowed for the comparison of DNA samples, providing a way to identify individuals based on genetic markers. Sir Alec Jeffreys at the University of Leicester made a groundbreaking discovery in 1984. He found that everyone's DNA is unique, like a genetic fingerprint. This discovery helped solve crimes by matching DNA from suspects to evidence found at crime scenes. It's like how each person has a different fingerprint, but now it's about our DNA, which is inside our bodies and carries our genetic code. His work changed how we investigate crimes and understand our own bodies. Initially, suspicion fell on another individual, but DNA testing was used to exonerate him. This was the first time such evidence had been used. after a mass DNA collection was performed on over 5,000 males in the community. Colin Pitchfork, a local bakery worker and father of two, was eventually identified as the perpetrator through DNA evidence. Pitchfork had evaded detection initially, but was apprehended after a colleague provided a DNA sample on his behalf during the mass screening of 5,000 local men. Colin Pitchfork was born on March 23, 1960 in Newbold Verdon, Leicester, England. He grew up in an area and later worked as a baker in Narborough, Leicestershire, but not much is widely known about his early life or upbringing before the murders. Colin Pitchfork was married at the time of his arrest. His wife initially stood by him during his trial, but later divorced him. The arrest of Colin Pitchfork not only solved Dawn Ashworth's murder, but also linked him to the earlier killing of Linda Mann in 1983. The murders of Dawn Ashworth and Linda Mann had a profound impact on forensic science and criminal investigation practices worldwide. The successful use of DNA profiling in this case marked a significant advancement in solving violent crimes and brought justice to the victims' families. Dawn Ashworth's life and tragic death serve as a reminder of the importance of advancements in forensic technology and the enduring impact of violent crimes on communities. Colin Pitchfork was arrested in 1987 after the groundbreaking use of DNA fingerprinting technology by Sir Alec Jeffreys linked him to the crimes. He was the first person in the world to be caught and convicted based on DNA fingerprinting and evidence. In 1988, he was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 30 years. Although Pitchfork was jailed for life for raping and strangling the two 15-year-old girls, Linda Mann and Dawn Ashworth, in 1983 and 1986, he was granted parole in 2023, but this was challenged by the ministers and the parole board denied his release in December 2023. Pitchfork applied for that decision to be reconsidered, and this permission was also granted. In a statement, the parole board said Mr. Pitchfork made an application for reconsideration in December 2023, and this was considered and granted by a reconsideration member of the parole board in February 2024. The complete rehearing will take place in due course. Mr. Pitchfork has and will continue to remain in prison until this case has fully concluded, the board added. This means he will face a new hearing with a different panel of parole board members at some point. Dawn's mom has been quoted as saying, "Our lives changed forever in that moment. Dawn had so many ambitions and her death has left a void. I don't want anyone else to suffer like me. He's taken something away that I can never replace, but nobody can take away the memories from me." Pitchfork's future in prison still remains uncertain. Thank you for listening to another episode of Canvas and Crime. If there's a story you would like to look into and recap, drop it in the comments. I avoid over-sensationalized serial killers and the overly popular stories. But feel free to offer suggestions, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you will be alerted every time I upload a new video. Thanks for listening and watching.